claimed Mbala was ravaged by winged beings, attacked her. She dodged a roll of 16 to hit, and whistled to summon 5 flying monkeys. Found a scroll of comprehend languages on Nanny, and Nock ended this episode covered in rotting meaty flesh.
Okay.
That's all I got.
That's right. Oh, and I believe you were trying to wash off from the cistern in the center of the plateau.
I think someone was urging me, like, go try to wash off.
Yeah, but the cistern was gross.
No one happens to be a waterbender, right? Is that the wrong continuity?
We don't have Katara in our party.
Yeah, I've been watching Avatar. I actually was just watching it before this.
Oh, really? Yeah, I watched.
Yeah,
Your first watch?
I watched a season and a half of it while I was sick and couldn't do anything else.
I've only watched one-off episodes here and there as a kid. I never did a whole watch through.
Yeah, then it's good.
Yeah, I'm up to I'm up to the library episode, the Earth book.
I don't think it's a controversial opinion to say it's the best It's the best piece of Western fiction, probably of the contemporary era.
It's the best Western anime, probably.
Yeah, but I don't really think. Like,
now I'm just picturing an anime about like mediocre motels.
Oh man, are we gonna talk about Has Been Hotel now? Is that what?
No, he said it was the best Western anime. Never mind.
You know what? You know how there are like basically weeaboos in Japan about American cartoons and culture.
Oh
I wonder what they think of Avatar.
No, I want to have a moment to talk about them and the fact that they have a big debate. They have a dubs versus subs debate specifically surrounding King of the Hill. It's a problem and it causes massive internet fights.
That's amazing.
I fiddle around Japanese Twitter and I've seen some weird things going on.
It brings me such joy that we're all nerds about other people's cultures.
There are some Western shows that I have watched in Japanese and are just made better by the Japanese production quality. Like, I like Ruby, but it is bad in English and it is pretty good in Japanese.
I do want to just...
Mostly because they make the first 3 seasons into one season and they make the pacing way better.
All right, I am ready to start.
I wanted to throw out a fun fact really quick, and that is that in Japan they don't know The Simpsons for a cartoon. They know The Simpsons, and they're very popular because of a lemon-flavored soda that The Simpsons were used to market before they came over as a TV show. Because of that, the TV show was wildly popular for a while because the soda was so big.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. Wait, wrong show.
Don't roll a dex check. You gotta roll a flat one to see what the luck is for the day. The luck is 18.
Alright.
Simpsons.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, I got a 7 too.
Good luck.
Although 7 is, I think, my favorite number. Does that count for anything?
Okay,
Basic.
all right.
What is such a basic.
Let's go ahead and start.
Okay.
I was born on May 7th, okay?
All right.
Birthday. What a nerd.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of With Disadvantage. I am your host and DM, Chev, and this is episode 5 of the Tomb of Annihilation campaign. And with me today, we've got Tychus, played by Jay.
Hello.
Nock, played by Bunsen.
Sounding a lot less robotic today.
And No Name, played by Bryn.
You mean
Hello,
No Name?
please remember to drink your water.
No Name.
No Name?
It's Italian.
Yes.
Yes, and ahead of time, I will just preface the show with that cough right there to show that I am still coming down from a cold, and I feel better, but my throat
Why don't you just warm up?
Oh, my jeez. All right.
I'm gonna put it back in that well.
No.
Oh, God. Okay. So, just a quick little recap. You guys made your way up the plateau in Mbala, here in the peninsula of Schult. And when you got to the top, you found basically an abandoned village with bones and skulls and stuff everywhere, mostly skulls for some reason. And then you found a bunch of skulls piled up in front of this hut, and in front of the hut was a very old, frail-looking woman tending to some creepy-looking garden. And as you guys got to talk to her, you were all suspect of why she was there and what she was doing. And it turns out that she was a hag and basically killed and ate most of the villagers up there. And when she realized you guys were onto her, she summoned her flying monkeys, fought you
You mean when
guys,
we tried to stab her in the neck?
and then summoned a flesh golem to fight all of you. You guys defeated them all, and then I believe you all decided to take a long rest atop the plateau here, the mesa.
Yeah, and Naka's currently covered in rotting meat right now.
Gross.
I would like to have a moment then to potentially handle that before we take our long rest, and that is I can create water. It's 10 gallons of water.
Oh, you're offering to take care of this? You don't seem very pleasant to be around me right now.
Might I suggest that we get some rest? We've got to travel west in the morning. This is Gimbal speaking.
Do we have the map here?
Yes. Here is the map of Schult.
I'm just gonna cast that right on you so you get heals. It doesn't do damage, it just makes water.
Do you have to roll for how well it washes off the meat,
I don't know.
Chev?
Nah.
That is some first edition shit.
What's this? What is this? The 60s?
So after I'm I assume you just dump like 10 gallons of water on top of me.
Basically.
All right, so 10 gallons of water. Geez, that's a lot. It just materializes and splashes down on top of you, knocking it. It cleans you pretty good with your chassis being so sleek, basically.
I still cannot smell. Am I better now?
The water's pretty heavy.
Yeah, my favorite were those ice bucket challenges when they would dump it all on their head and realized how heavy it was.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you don't go for the pour. You go for like a self dunk. You fill like a trash bucket full and just jump in.
Thank you. Whatever your name was.
No problem.
Gimbal has already pulled out a small bedroll and is trying to make himself comfortable. Is he a gnome or a goblin?
I think he's a gnome. I think
gnome.
he's like a gnome.
Okay. So
Just
he's
a
pulled out
particularly short human.
he pulled out a little bedroll and he's curling up for sleep now, not really paying attention to you guys.
Yeah. I'm gonna go and get ready for rest, of course.
Don't worry, everyone. I can keep watch.
All right. So you can take a first watch then,
No, like Warforged, they don't have to sleep. They just kind of enter a...
Oh, so you always get to be the watcher. Nice. All right. So the night passes pretty uneventfully as the sun begins to rise, and it is about 6 or 7 in the morning. The sun's popping up in the east behind you guys, and the sky lights up, and you're now able to see the valley from atop this mesa again pretty well. And the sounds are coming to life as the sun begins to crest over the horizon.
Is the remains
That's
of
lava.
Flesh Golem just still up here throughout the entire night?
Oh, it's gotta reek.
I don't see why they wouldn't be.
Well, fortunately, while I'm in my deactivated state, I certainly can't smell it. Still don't have a nose.
Okay.
Alright.
So, Nock, you are awake. Nobody else has awoken yet. Do you try to wake them up?
Let me get a bearing on the surroundings.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
Alright, you got it. That is a 20.
Okay. Oh, nice. All right. So you look around and you can see the whole valley of Schult here. Just to crest over the horizon a little more, you notice light glinting off of something shiny off in the distance, this direction.
Can I try to take a close... I don't think we have any like binoculars or anything, do we?
No.
The gnome seems like a person carrying a lot of stuff on them, right?
Yeah, he's got a little pack and stuff. He's definitely adept at exploring on Schult here, being a guide.
I'm gonna wake him up first.
Okay. So you nudge him, and he kind of rolls over. Oh, is it morning already?
Yes. Also, question: do you have binoculars on you?
What are binoculars?
Uh, thing. Do you have something that would let us see far?
I have a small spyglass.
Would that let us see any farther?
Well, yes. And he pulls out this tiny little thing that's like a miniature telescope. It's made
Alright.
out of copper.
All right. Can I see it for a second?
Sure. And he hands it to you.
All right. I point it over towards the direction of the glint. I don't have eyes per se, so I just hold it up to my face, and it's like nothing seems very different.
Oh yeah, you don't have eyes. That's right.
So I just hold it.
But-
I'm just holding
but
it in
wait,
my face.
You can see, right? So
Yeah,
where?
it's just not.
What
it's
aperture
just,
does light enter for you to see?
The lines on my face?
Okay, so I would assume that you could put. Can you not look at something small right in front of your face?
I guess not.
Oh, okay. Well, if you can't,
Well-
then never mind.
Well, no, I probably would have to, considering.
Hudson,
What?
just let it.
I mean, you have to. Light has to enter somewhere, and if you can hold up a bug in front of your face and examine the details of the bug, then you can certainly look through the small aperture of the spyglass.
Okay.
Okay.
I just thought it'd be funny if I held it up. It's like I can't see shit.
Okay. So you
Anyway.
you hold it up and you point it in the direction of the glint, and the sun is moving as more and more light is appearing as the more of the sun appears over the horizon, and it kind of makes it like flash a little bit, and you notice that you're looking at like some sort of iron bondings of a wrecked ship that is caught in the tree branches way across the Aldani Basin.
Hmm. Does it look like it's moving or anything, or that there's any activity going on at it?
Nope. The stern of the ship is kind of the lowest part. It's kind of hanging precariously by its rigging, probably about 50 feet off the ground. The trees are pretty tall. The middle section appears to be about 15 feet higher because it's broken in half.
For our sake, could we put a pin on the map where I saw that,
Yeah, sure.
just so that like as a character I remember that that's there.
I have to remember how I did this. I have to have some sort of object created somewhere in order to drop a link on the map. I did this. You know what? Let's do this as notes. This will be easier because I can just pop these open. Okay. Shipwreck in treetops. And then we'll make it public. And I'll drop the pin and make the pin public. Do you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
There you
it
go.
just looks like a normal ship, not like a special ship.
Yeah, no, just a normal ship. The thing that's special about it is it's 50 feet up in the air and it's the tops of some trees.
Hmm. Interesting. I'm gonna hand the spyglass back to what's his name?
Gimbal.
I'm gonna hand it back to Gimbal.
Okay. He
Thank
tucks it away into his pack. He's rolling up his bedroll and he kind of stands up. Well, we better get a move on.
Yeah, I go ahead and wake up Tychus and Noname.
I seem to have caught a cold in the night. I'm quite stuffy.
Unfortunate, but hopefully it doesn't become too much of an inconvenience.
Well, hopefully I don't get any of you guys sick. As he coughs straight out toward all of you.
The role play is unbelievable, Chef.
No matter. I don't believe I can get sick.
That's good.
I'm
That's
not-
good.
I'm not sure it'll be too much. of a-
Achoo! He sneezes.
I like wipe it off my leg.
Gross.
It's all right. I'm hardy. I'll be fine.
Is that your
But
name?
No.
Hello, Hardy.
I don't-
I am Gimbal.
I don't. have one.
Could we give you a name? At least for something for us to refer to you as.
Sure. That's what
Mm,
most people have done so far.
Do you have a preference?
What are
No.
some names that others have given you?
Tall one, big, disruptive. I also got
I think
called
I might
bull in a
confuse you
china
all if I
shop.
start calling you disruptive.
No Name it is. Nice to meet you, No Name. I give you a pat on the back.
No Name sounds great.
Fair enough.
Well, what should we do, everyone? We've got to climb down this mesa, and we must head west.
Well, yes, we should still head west, but I would like to point out that away I saw an iron shipwreck in the trees. Once we're done at the west, we should go check that out.
In the middle of the forest. How
Yes.
did it even get there?
Ask for Gimble's spyglass. See it for yourself.
I'll take your word.
Gimbal pulls it out of the pack, and then, as you say, you'll take his word. He puts it back.
Right then. Should we head to the west then?
Yep, let's track west.
Let's make sure we secure a safe way down off the mesa first.
I don't still stink, right?
No, you seem good.
Thank you for the impromptu bath. Anyway.
No
All
problem.
right. Well, who wants to lead the way?
I will. Follow me.
If there's another meaty thing, I'm sure you can take the hits better than I can.
I doubt we'll be running into any more flesh golems now that we've put the hag out of her misery.
I'm told that things are attracted to strong smells, and I'm told that this was a strong smell up here.
She didn't seem miserable. She seemed pretty happy doing whatever she was doing.
I think anyone who met her would have been miserable.
That's how evil people are. They take joy in bettering themselves at the cost of others.
Quite. Okay. And then you guys make your way down, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
so you guys wind down the mesa, and there's a few obstructions in the path, but you guys are able to get over them just like you did on the way up. And you make your way down to the bottom, and now you're now at the base of the Mambala Mesa, and there are a couple more mesas just outside of that. So if I zoom in here and sync your guys' view, how do I sync this? It's different in this one. There we go. Can you guys see the different? Whoa. I guess I'll use the arrow. The different mesas over there. So there's two right here to the west of the one you're on, and then there's more beyond those, and they're outlined by trees.
Yeah, I assume we're just taking a path to the west.
Okay. All right. So as you guys are walking through the mesas, who's leading again? Tychus?
Yes.
Roll me a perception check.
I'll probably take rear guard if we consider it to be like a march.
Okay, skills. And perception. Gonna be a 15.
Okay. As you're walking, you notice that up on the wall, like almost the straight up and down cliff wall of the mesa to your right, you notice something struggling. And you look up to it, and you see it's just kind of, it's struggling. It's like stuck on the side of this cliff, and it's just kind of struggling ever so gently, just like trying to reach up for something that's pinning it to the wall. But it's really high up. It's hard to make out what it actually is.
Gimbal, that's spyglass. May I see it for a moment? I say,
of
and I
course.
just kind of halt everybody.
Of course, and he digs through his pack for a minute and then hands it to you.
And I raise it up to my eye, and I take a closer look at whatever it is you pointed out.
Okay, and you look, and you can clearly see a flying monkey pinned to the cliff with an arrow. And
Is this from the fight?
it's been there for a while. But it's
Some would say over a month.
but it's barely like hanging on there. Like it's barely hanging on to life, I should say. It's struggling. The way it's struggling is just like it's basically given up.
What do you see?
One of those flying apes from earlier. It appears to be pinned to the wall up there by an arrow, but it seems to almost be giving up.
Should we put it out of its misery?
I don't know that we need to do anything that cruel. It's pinned there by an arrow. I don't know if any of you can reach up there to free it, though.
I meant make it more swift, so it doesn't suffer any longer.
It doesn't seem to be suffering that bad. It's only pinned to the wall. It's not dying.
Well, what should we do?
I'm not sure. Does anybody have a means to get up there to try to free it? It's quite high up there.
How high does it look?
How high does it look?
Probably at least like 75 feet up there.
Would I be able to use batons to climb up?
Batons. Oh, the pitons?
Yeah, pitons.
Okay. Yeah, you can certainly do that.
Yeah, just kind of use them as rock climbing
Mm-hmm.
gear.
What should we have you roll for that? That's probably going to be athletics, I would assume, right? Or should it be acrobatics?
I would argue acrobatics because I have the tools because like presumably I'm good with them, and I
Okay.
have +6 to acrobatics and only a -1 to athletics.
Yeah, I would say athletics would be more for like climbing it with your own strength. The tools would assist you enough to where you
All right.
just need dexterity.
Let's do
to operate them.
acrobatics then.
All right. Well, maybe they can do something for us. I don't know. I'm gonna take out
Perhaps.
batons and start trying to climb up.
While you're up there, before you climb. Okay. Before you
What?
climb, I was going to hand you the spyglass and ask you to see if you could scout the way ahead a bit while you're up there.
Oh, well, I mean, I assume I'm at this moment just starting to put batons in. You can probably still hand it to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so you start climbing up there, and you get probably about 20 feet up, and you go to put one of your pitons into the rock face, and it's extra hard, and it just kind of bounces out, and you slide down. Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Oof.
You're a
Save.
rogue. This should be fine.
Okay, you lose about 10 feet before you're able to just take the free piton and just jam it back into the rock face, and you're able to stop your descent, and then you're able to control the other piton again.
Oh, did you think I would fail or something?
Roll me another acrobatics check.
God, this is your opportunity to punish him.
Well, no, knock in universe is just very, very full of herself. That is a 9.
All right, you get up back to that same spot and try it again, and this time you fall all the way down, about the 30 feet that you made it. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Not dexterity.
Nope.
Oh, you fell all the way. This is determining how badly you
Okay, so you
fuck up your landing.
you fall, but you kind of manage to duck and roll, and you take some bumps and scrapes, but you right yourself. It's pretty difficult to climb this very sheer rock face.
I had a kind of fucked up idea.
What is your idea?
I'm gonna beast form into a spider and start climbing the wall.
Nice.
Can you imagine that happening?
Sure, why not?
No, you're like trapped, prepared to give up your life, and you look down and you see the spider climbing up the wall.
Is it a spider-sized spider or is it a you-sized spider?
It's a U-sized spider. It's a giant. It's like a giant wolf spider.
I don't like that.
It is a 1/4.
This monkey's gonna fucking just shit itself.
But I have spider climb, so I don't have to worry.
Okay.
So I'll just make my way up.
Okay, so it doesn't require a roll or anything to do beast form?
No,
Okay,
it's
cool.
the spider kind. Hold on. The spider can climb difficult surfaces, including upside down on ceilings, without needing to make an ability check.
Okay, and You have to have seen those forms too. Do you have like a list of forms that you already know?
No,
Okay.
but
I'll,
I would imagine I would have seen a giant wolf spider
okay.
in a
I'll
forest.
give you that one, and if you want to come up with a couple more that you've seen
Yeah.
already too, that's fine.
I probably wouldn't have things like giant bats or like centipedes very much,
Okay.
but like, I would imagine a giant wolf spider I might have seen in the woods.
Okay. So if you see like a small, like I have just a quick question for my clarification. If you see a small spider and you transform into that, is it still a U-sized spider or is it then small? Or are you then
That would be a
small?
small spider.
Okay, so you are the size of the creature you're emulating?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. I didn't know you could actually change sizes. Cool.
You turn into the creature that you're turning into, is
Cool.
basically the gist of it.
Okay.
Which means you could be a little rat.
All right, so you begin the climb. They have a climbing speed, right? Like, I don't need to have you roll for this.
Climbing speed is 40 feet.
Okay, yeah, so you're able to climb pretty easily as a spider
Yeah.
who's used to doing that. And you make it up to this monkey who is basically unconscious. And he's just kind
Now-
of hanging there with this arrow through the joint where it adjoins his wing to his body.
Hmm.
In the meantime, is Tuckus giving me a hard time for ending up failing when I said, "What do you think I was going to do? Fail?"
I think Tychus chuckled once, but is mostly just going to ignore that and just keep observing.
Okay. Do you
See,
do
I
anything
consider-
with the monkey?
A consideration has been made, and that consideration is I'm going to rescue it.
Okay. What do
I
you
assumed
do?
that was the plan.
I am going to see if I can, in some way, support it,
Okay.
and then see if I can knock the arrow loose.
Okay. So you have like freaking like 6 or 8 legs, right? How many
Yeah.
is it? 8?
8.
Okay. So it's pretty easy. You're able to hold on to the wall on the side. I'll let me have you roll one acrobatics check with advantage. Nice. Okay, so you're able to hold yourself onto the wall, hold the flying monkey against the wall, and then you're able to use a couple of your legs to pull the arrow out. And as you do, the monkey wakes up, just the pain is wakes him up immediately, and he kind of screams out, and then he just looks at you, frozen with fear, as his eyes are just sort of half wide, but like also he's just extremely exhausted. And then he's looking at you in fear, and then all of a sudden he just kind of passes out again, and it goes limp in your legs.
I'm gonna try to climb back down with him. Just
Okay.
put him somewhere nice.
All right.
Found breakfast.
It takes a little
No.
bit longer to get back down, but you're able to get down
Yeah.
safely.
Alright. I'm going to change back, and I'm going to leave just a little bit of rations for him.
Okay.
And I'm just like, we should go.
You change back, you leave some rations on the ground, and he is just laying there unconscious still.
Do you realize this was one of the things that was poorly trying to kill us last night, right?
Perhaps, but nothing is undeserving of compassion.
Every creature is important in its own way.
Offer an aiding hand before you offer a sword.
Every creature, including those not made of flesh and blood.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to remind you that after this trip here, I would like to go back and save that guardian.
Of course.
Well,
Let's
I
keep moving.
guess we better get moving. All right, so you guys continue through the mesas here. Pretty uneventful as you get around those first 2 mesas where you found the monkey. And then as you get to the second 2, you see a bunch more arrows. And they're kind of littered all over the place. There's some in the ground, and then there's a bunch in the rock faces of this next 2 sets of mesas, of these plateaus.
I don't believe these are my arrows.
There are a variety of different arrows. they look like they've come from all sorts of different sources. Some
Yeah,
of
I was
them,
just saying that in character.
right. Yeah, I was just clarifying.
Tychus, you wouldn't happen to have a giant shield of some sort, would you?
What'd you say?
Tychus, you wouldn't happen to have some sort of giant shield, would you?
No, I don't use a shield anymore.
Anymore?
Yes, I don't use shields anymore.
Sounds like there's a story behind that.
There is.
Okay. You guys just going to press forward then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep an eye to the sky.
Okay, you guys keep walking, and there's a bunch of arrows. You're going to have to step around them. It's clearly some sort of battle here. But there's nothing left behind that you can see until you come across a pile of bones. You see like tiny little rib cages, and then a bunch of bones scattered around, and little monkey skulls.
The skulls that were on the mountain, on the mesa top that we were at before, were human skulls, right?
Correct. And these skulls are just littered about. Some of them are pinned to the rock face with arrows. A few rib cages are hanging from the arrows.
No, Name, I don't think you've ended up saving that monkey. Maybe you've just stayed off the inevitable.
Okay. You guys gonna step through the? You have one more mesa to pass before you enter the forest.
I'm keeping an eye up to the sky if there's anything above us that would be launching arrows.
Okay. All right. You guys press forward, and then you get around this mesa, and there's no activity of any kind. It's very silent. The sun is now well overhead. It's probably about 8, 9 in the morning. You can see the sun clearly. It's a clear sky, and the forest up ahead definitely is buzzing with activity. You can hear all the sounds you're used to from the forest.
Okay, I look behind us.
Yes. Okay, you turn around, you look behind you, you see the mesas, you see all the arrows that have kind of exchanged sides as they've hit the sides of these plateaus.
Alright, I'm gonna keep moving through.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, as you move through into the forest, the trees are dense again, just like they were before. And also there is a river in front of you guys, and it's kind of rushing past you guys pretty quickly. It's probably about 10 feet wide.
Could you move the pin to where along the river we are?
Sure.
That'd be like...
You are right there.
Gotcha. Is there any obvious way of crossing it?
No bridges or anything of that kind. No like stones or anything to hop through or hop over.
How fast is it rushing?
It's a good clip. Like it would probably sweep the legs out from under you if you just stepped in it haphazardly.
Even if I was a very heavy robot that sinks?
True. It might not if you are cautious about it. You could probably withstand the current.
How deep does the river look?
It is difficult to tell. You estimate that it's at least a couple feet, if not more.
Alright. So, the rest of the group, are you guys kind of like standing beside this river, just kind of looking at our options?
Yeah.
I'm going to wave to whoever's next to me and go, alright, see you on the other side. I'm just going to walk into the river.
And Gimbal just says real fast, oh, it might not be a good, oh, okay. And then you step into the river. Go ahead and roll me a, what would this be? What would be like a...
I'd argue that's athletics, because that kind of is what swimming got rolled into.
Yeah, that's what I was
eventually.
thinking. Yeah, let's do an athletics.
I mean, I sink in water. Even if it pushes me, I'm just going to be on the bottom still, right?
I mean, you would sink, but if the whole river is flowing, then you would just roll along the bottom.
Yeah, that's a 13.
Okay, you step in and you're able to hold your ground.
Alright. I just...
It's pushing against you pretty hard, though.
Is it hard to find my footing on each step?
No. The bottom of the river seems to be pretty smooth.
All right. So like once I got in, like once I got used to the force that I need to apply, I'm seeming to be fine.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna continue to the other side then.
Okay, you slowly make your way across to the other side, and you manage to get there safely.
All right. Can I look at my surroundings on the other side here?
Yeah. So it's another dense tree line, and hold on, let me get this open here. And just through the tree line, you kind of get the. It's like I said, it's really dense, so it's hard to see very far in. But you see one small little rock, like shrine or tower or something, in the trees, kind of just like probably like 30 feet back.
I'm gonna turn back to the group to see what they're up to.
I'm gonna take a moment to see if I can roll a nature check and kind of see if I can poke around the trees and find any vines or anything that might be useful for, I don't know, maybe swinging across because it might be our only option.
Yeah, sure. Roll a nature check.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Of course.
It does not
It's only
appear
17.
that there are any vines or anything easy to swing from.
In the meantime, can I try to use a stealth check to try to slip into the tree line to try to investigate that on my own?
Sure.
As a 21.
Trying to decide if I should have you roll that with disadvantage, considering you are a big clunky machine, but
I'm made for stealth. What are you talking about?
true. All right. Okay, so yeah,
Big
you're
clunky machine.
you're able to slip in there pretty quietly and easily.
I take offense to that. I'll have you know.
My character just turns to Tychus and goes, I have a plan B.
What is your plan B?
Knock a tree down.
You know, I like your plan B. I'm gonna pull out my great axe.
I have to say, I like this plan as well, as I don't have any idea how I'm going to get across.
Neither do we. This is the best we've got.
Okay, let's find a suitably long tree.
Do they notice that I've already gone past the tree line?
That's why you rolled a stealth check.
Well,
So
yeah.
no.
Yeah, I would say not. They're focused on trying to get across themselves.
All right.
Let's see,
In the
what do I
mean-
have? I have a quarterstaff in my fists. Let's Minecraft this.
Yeah,
I have an axe. Let me do it.
Alright, fair enough.
All right, so you're going to try and cut down. These trees are pretty big. It's probably going to take you the better part of an hour to chop this thing down. We'll see exactly how long it takes with a athletics check.
Hopefully, I am good at that. Where's my boy? There's my boy. Bam. I said bam. 15.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it takes about an hour for you to chop through the whole thing, but eventually you do get through the whole thing, and this tree falls just as you intended it to, and lands crossing the river, and it's huge. So, knock as this tree falls, it barely misses you as it falls clear into the tree line, and it hits the stone, the little stone shrine that you saw, and you see a bunch of stone bricks go flying.
Well, hang on. A whole hour passed. I was checking that thing out in the meantime.
Oh, that's true. So let's just rewind a tiny bit, and you walk around the stone
Chop.
shrine.
Chop.
Yep, I'm checking it out.
Okay. And as you get up to the stone shrine, you notice this huge ziggurat that's like this a massive stone brick building that rises from the jungle. 2 staircases angle up and across the front face, one from the right and one from the left, and then they kind of meet at a landing on the second level, about 30 feet above your head. The layout repeats on the second level and the third level, but with each successive layer adding less height than the one below it. So the fourth level,
How tall are these trees?
they're very tall. They're like 50 feet tall. Let's see. Yeah, 60 feet above the jungle floor is an enclosed shrine or temple, its walls adorned with labyrinth symbols. The jungle encroaches right up to and onto this ancient structure. The first flights of steps are choked with creepers, tree roots, and flowering vines. It's creepers. Be careful, they might explode. It might have been
Aw,
surrounded
man.
by a city long ago, but the jungle is so dense that it would take hours of searching to find buried foundations and tumbled stones. So it's very well camouflaged here in this forest. And just as you're checking it out, you hear the loud crash of the tree that they cut down falling in behind you, and a bunch of stone bricks come flying toward you in this where you're investigating.
I was just standing there for an hour.
Well, around
Yeah.
this whole ziggurat, it's
Oh.
huge. It would take a
It's
while
like
for you
pyramid
to.
sized.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably.
it's huge. It's massive.
Like, you know the last level of Halo 3? That's what I'm imagining.
I was imagining the temple in the rainforest. I think it was in Sonic Adventure 1.
I was also imagining the Sonic Adventure one.
Yeah!
No idea what that is.
Anyway, well, sounds like the rest of the group is starting to catch up. Can I start to go up the stairs?
Sure.
How bad did the tree fuck up the ziggurat? I'm curious. Like,
It didn't hit the ziggurat. It hit a little shrine that was about 20 feet
I
out
was
from
confused.
it. Yeah, and it crushed this little shrine, and the bricks from the shrine came flying up toward the ziggurat.
And I'd assume we're making our way across the tree.
Yes.
Is it big enough to where we don't need to roll a check for that?
Yeah, no, it's massive. You guys are fine.
Not covered in slippery moss or anything.
I would
No,
imagine
'cause-
most of that would be shaken off by the impact.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys cross, and you see that the tree crushed this little shrine, and you continue to walk on the tree through the clearing that it cut, basically, and you guys also see the massive ziggurat and the staircases, but you see no sign of Knock.
Oh, I thought I was thinking I would maybe for a while. In the meantime, I was just sitting on top of the first floor there, just sitting on the edge, waiting
Oh,
for them to catch
okay.
up.
All right, so they can clearly see you then?
Yep.
Okay. So
Just
you
like,
guys
took
see
me
him
long
about
enough.
30 feet up with his legs dangling off the side.
Well, there's our mechanical friend. Looks
Hello.
like we should make our way up there.
Took you all long enough.
Well, not all of us can walk through running water.
Not with that attitude.
We knocked a tree down instead.
I'm pretty sure that's evident.
Do you guys go up the stairs to meet him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, her.
Her.
Or her, sorry. Yeah, my bad. All right, so you guys get up to meet her up at the top, and she's just sitting there waiting for you.
Yeah.
And
By the time they get to the top, I imagine I'm standing up.
you've got 3 more flights of stairs to go up if you wanted to go all the way to the top.
I am too old for stairs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've invented escalators yet, so suck it up.
Okay, let's see. Hold on a second.
But we definitely have snakes.
We should be careful. We know that regions of this land are still inhabited by dangerous people.
Okay, so we got to back up a little bit. The steps from the ground to level 1 of the ziggurat are 50 feet long and rise 30 feet. A tangle of roots, vines, and creepers cover the steps. Characters can climb the first 10 feet as difficult terrain. Let's see. After about 10 feet, you start getting scratched by thorns. And as you continue, you start to take a little bit of damage climbing up these stairs. And after 20 feet, it increases. So it gets even harder and harder as you guys are going up these steps.
My metal plating doesn't defend against it at all.
Let's see. The thorns regrow quickly as they're slashed, burned, or destroyed, and they can't be parted by magic or by abilities. Okay. So, yeah, so you definitely guys took a little bit of damage as you went up. Let's see, it says 30 feet, and then 20 after 20 feet, so that would be 10 damage, I think.
Really?
Ouch.
Yeah,
And- That changes things.
yeah. So
I thought they were just kind of stairs.
you took 10 damage for crossing the last 10 feet.
That's
It's
half of
literally
my
half
health.
my health points.
Yeah.
That was
it's
pretty
pretty rough.
Jeez.
I wish
Yeah,
we knew that sooner. I probably wouldn't have done that.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm allowing you to rewind. It's my fault. I totally
Okay.
missed this detail about the steps. I had to click through it.
I would assume that we would make our way up the stairs to the while trying to hack away things, but once we found that the vines regrew quickly after being hacked, I would think that we would stop for a moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
They probably instead found me inspecting the plants then.
Okay. So you guys find Knock in examining these plants. You've tried to slash a few of them, and they grow back just as quickly as you cut them off. Just instantly grow back.
Clearly magical. Nature doesn't grow this fast.
Nature didn't count for batons. I'm gonna turn to the wall beside me and try to use my batons to climb again.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. Go ahead and roll a acrobatics check.
That is a 11.
All right. You get
You're on
up.
fire with these acrobatics checks.
You
It's not
find it.
even that bad. It's 11.
You find it pretty easy to go up, as it's made of stone bricks, and so you're able to put the pitons right between the bricks as you keep going. But you get about halfway up, and then somehow some sort of force pushes your pitons out of the crack between the stones, and you fall back down. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Did someone try to catch me?
I definitely don't try to catch you.
Dang.
I will, but that's just because I'm big.
Yeah, sorry for jumping the gun on that. I didn't notice there was a whole thing about the steps.
Yeah. They're glad to know that you have my back, I guess.
I'll try to catch you, but you know.
Yeah. So Constitution saving throw.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That is an 8.
All right, so you fall and you take 2 points of damage as you land in the vines and stuff at the base of the ziggurat.
If there was no foul play, I definitely would have climbed that. My batons were forced out of the brick when I was climbing.
Definitely magical then. This place is under the protection of something that doesn't want anyone inside.
Sounds like they have something within that they don't want people to have. Fortunately, I don't count as a people. According to some of you, anyway. Not you, personally, I mean.
Regardless, look at the map. Who's been following our progress, and how close are we? I doubt this is exactly what we're looking for, but
I guess I'll pull up the map.
Could be valuable or powerful within.
You say there was some kind of magic that prevented you from climbing the wall, yes?
Yes.
And you've tried cutting away the vines?
Yes.
All right, well, let me see if I can step between them. And he starts to climb the steps and steps over one vine and then over another, and then they start to get thicker. After he makes it almost about 10 feet. And, and the vine starts to cut his leg, and he tries to go a little bit further, and he gets cut more and more, and then he gives up, and he kind of comes back down. And as he starts to come back down, the vines in his way on the way down part as he comes back down.
Did you
Well, that
see
was
that just now, Gimbal?
Yes, the vines there appeared to part as I came back down down the steps.
Do you
Absolutely.
think it's because they're being looked at?
What do you mean looked at?
Well, maybe. What if you tried going up backwards?
Well, I guess I'll give it a go. And he kind of starts to go backwards and immediately cuts himself on the thorns. And he hops back down, bleeding now from around his shins and ankles.
I do
sorry.
think that perhaps it could be that it's only trying to keep us out, but those that are inside are able to leave, and perhaps would be able to part the thorns themselves.
Tychus, how good are you at throwing people?
That's a very specific question.
Do you want to try to throw me up there?
I'm gonna ask about how high of a throw would this be?
30 feet.
30 feet, huh?
Yep.
I would need a mighty roll to throw someone as heavy as a Warforged that far.
My weight is only 160 pounds, actually.
That's still a lot.
It's not as much as it could be.
I could do it.
I'll give it a try. Why not? I think my athletics is a lot higher than yours anyway.
Alright.
All right.
How would you like me to be positioned for this throw? Are you throwing me like a spear or a ball?
I'm going to say that because like it's like we're not gonna go over the vines. We're gonna go upwards towards the lip of the next layer, the ziggurat. I'm guessing, right? So I'm gonna have you stand on my hand, and I'm going to try to toss you up with all of my might, so that you may grab the ledge and pull yourself upward.
Okay. Now listen, Tychus.
Yes.
This time I'm going to need you to catch me if I am repelled off again.
I'll be here. So
And I believe I have a rope on me, so I can. Yes, I have some rope on me, so I can.
perhaps, although securing it one of the pythons might not be possible, but we'll see.
I can just hold on to the rope. I'll probably be fine.
Anyway, are you ready?
Ready.
There's absolutely no way this works.
All right. Athletics check.
It's a 23.
Isn't this a Ruby bit?
Nice. Okay, so you throw Knock straight up there, and surprisingly, Knock, you are able to see just over the top ledge there. And just for a moment, you're able to take it all in as you see the second set of steps, and you see this weird little like pixie-looking thing called the you don't know what it's called, and let's see, how do I change this?
I'm currently imagining Navi from Ocarina of Time.
So I have this image to share. Hold on.
I'm imagining a very angry small fairy woman.
Can you guys see these little things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
And you see it. It runs up the steps up on top. You get just across the top steps on the other side where you guys can't see, and you see that it's holding. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see this. It's about a foot tall, and it has a little mask, and the mask resembles a triceratops head, and it's also carrying a large orange and purple orchid, and it charges up the steps that you can see. You can only see a little bit at the top of the steps, and the thorns part in front of it, just before it, like magically part, and then they close immediately behind it as it goes running up with this like orchid in its hands.
What's an orchid?
It's a flower.
It's a little flower. It's like the flowers in that image, I think.
no,
I mean,
an orchid looks different, but yeah, no. Approximately, it's a flower.
Oh, okay.
Alright, well, what
And
else
anyway,
going
and
on?
then as your head crests the top, then suddenly you're brought back to reality as this like shimmer of some sort of energy prevents you from gripping the ledge, and you grab onto nothing, like almost an invisible wall as you slide down the wall.
Even if I try to stab it with a baton.
Yeah, no, nothing. It doesn't. It's
No
like
sequence breaks here.
it's like an invisible wall, like a video game. Basically, there's no.
Oh my god.
There's no cracks or crevices of any kind, and you immediately slide back down and roll.
What do I roll to catch?
That's a good question. Let's do acrobatics.
Ooh, I'm not great at that.
Okay.
That's a
Can I
place.
assist?
And you
Can I
you
assist
go
since I'm the one
you
being-
go. Oh no, I got you! And you step about a foot, and he falls about 10 feet away and lands on the ground. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
I don't get to assist because I'm the one being caught.
No, you're uncontrollably flailing in the air.
Yeah, you just fell and you hit the ground because no one caught you.
It's a Constitution saving throw, you said?
Uh-huh. All right.
That is a 21.
And this time, knowing what to expect and not having any faith in your allies, you manage to duck and roll, and you kind of roll down the slight slope of the base of the ziggurat, and you come back to your feet just in front of Tychus.
Thanks.
I made an effort.
I'm gonna kneel down next to the plants for just a moment.
You know,
Okay.
an effort usually involves moving your feet too.
And I'm going to ask
Usually it's a
them
powerful word.
if they would be willing to part.
Just gonna talk to the plants.
You're gonna ask the thorns if they would part.
I have the ability Speech of Beast and Leaf. I can
Okay.
communicate with, but not understand beasts and plants, and have advantage on charisma checks to influence them.
Ah, okay.
I am going to attempt to persuade the plants.
All right, so you do that, and you kind of notice the plant almost like tries to move and struggle, but nothing happens.
You know, when I was up there, I saw a short creature of some sort. It was holding I think it was an orange and purple flower of some sort. As it parted plants on the second flight of stairs.
Noname kind of just looks a little horrified because she's made the realization that the plants are being made to do this.
So you said they were using some kind of plant?
It's possible. I know that I was carrying it. That's all I know.
Well, there's two possibilities here. Either they're using that as a conduit, or that's simply just the key to the magic. Perhaps if we could find a similar plant, we could use it ourselves to part the thorns.
Okay. You guys are gonna look for this flower.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's my idea, anyway.
All right, then I'll have all of you roll nature checks.
Investigation?
No, nature checks.
Darn.
I got a 16.
22.
I got a rock.
Okay. So Naname, you immediately recognize that this flower as you've seen it as you're passing, and you find one right away. You just had to walk back a little bit, follow the shoreline a little bit, and you finally found a purple and orange orchid.
Flower.
Do you pick it? Hello?
I'm considering like whether or not that's a dangerous decision.
I mean, in character, I don't imagine you would have reason to not pick it up beyond the DM just asking, "Hey, are you sure you want to pick it?"
To be fair, I tend to
no.
ask you guys what if you want to do like every little thing.
Well, no, there's also just the reality that Noname has just had the run-in with the plants, and when persuading the plants want to move, but the plants are being made to do this.
All right, so ask it if it could uproot itself for you.
No. I'm going to ask it, are you dangerous?
You said you can't hear it, right?
I can't really hear it, but maybe it can communicate in some rudimentary way I understand, is basically the gist of it.
What is this ability called?
Speech of Beast and Leaf.
Speech would be okay. I see it.
I found a rock.
There's like a
Does that
bunch
help
of
at all?
fearbug stuff, and it's just weird, like Speech of the Woods.
Okay. I can't decide what this means, but sure. Let's have you roll a charisma check with advantage.
This skill is weird and weirdly worded.
Yeah, it is. I can't decide if it imbues the plant with any ability to move itself.
I don't know either.
I'm going to just go ahead and say yes. Okay. All right, so you ask it if it's dangerous, and nothing happens.
I will take that as a yes, and I will gently pick the flower.
Okay. All right, so you gently pick the flower, and nothing seems to happen. You now have a flower.
Yeah.
Did you find something over there?
Yeah, I already knew where there was one. It was like back by the river.
I found a rock, if that helps at all. And I just dismissively drop it.
Okay.
What did Tychus find?
What do you do with the flower? Oh, let's see, Tychus. That's right. You rolled a 16. So you takes you a little bit longer, but you are able to find a flower yourself also. And do you pick it?
Yeah.
Okay. So
That's
you
the goal
pluck
here.
the flower, and nothing happens. You now have a flower, and you come back, and so you both show up with a flower. Nock shows up with a rock.
No, I already dropped it dismissively. Like, hey, I
Yes.
didn't find crap, and just drop it.
Yeah, fair enough. I am going to approach the thorns.
Okay, and as you do, the thorns begin to part in front of you.
Yay!
Okay, do you continue upward?
Can I
you
can I
gotta
walk
back
right
everyone
behind?
else. Yeah.
Can I walk right behind Noname?
Yes.
I figure what we could do is we can have Tychus on one side and me on the other side, and that should be able to easily
There you
cover
go.
our base and getting everyone through.
That's perfect.
So I'll take the lead. You walk in the back.
Understood.
Okay. Yep, you guys carefully tread up the steps. Careful not to get too far apart, leaving Nock vulnerable, and the plants close behind you, and you are
Wait,
now...
what
What about Gimbal?
Oh, yeah.
We keep forgetting about Gimbal.
All right.
Just put Gimbal on my shoulders.
Oh, there you go. Gimbal's up on Nock's shoulders. How about that?
I'm not that strong.
I'm the big
Gimble's a
one. Why does
gnome.
everyone keep forgetting? I'm like under the giant size.
Yeah, but you were holding a... Well, I guess you could be on your shoulders. That's fine. Okay. If you want him on your shoulders, that works.
Yeah.
All right. You guys make it your way up to the second level. Okay. And then as soon as you get up to the top, there's a little bit of an area that kind of walks around the ziggurat, and then there's another set of steps from level 1 to level 2. They're about 33 feet long. They rise 20 feet, and the stone around that form these steps are crumbling from age and decay.
Hang on just a moment. I want to go back over to the ledge where I tried to climb up and be thrown up onto.
Sorry, what are you asking?
I asked the party to hold on for a second, and I'm investigating where I felt like magical force, like, prevent me from getting up here the other way.
It was
Like,
right
is there,
at the
like-
edge, basically.
Yeah, like, do I feel an invisible wall on
No.
the other side?
No.
Dude, words cannot describe how much I want for when you get to the ledge to inspect it, for the force to kick in and just knock you back down the ziggurat.
Or him expect
Not
the force...
funny pun.
Or him expect the force to kick in, it not... or a wall to be there, and there not be a wall, and then he loses his balance.
Knock me off, you said?
I
Haha.
mean, not intentional pun, but sure.
Anyway, I'm gonna head back over to the party.
Okay. Alright, so you have a second set of steps. There's 2 steps going up the left or the right. And but they definitely look very old and
No more
decaying.
thorns?
No thorns.
I'm gonna put the flower in my hair then from here on out. Just for a little bit. I need my hands free. For climbing, apparently.
Okay.
I figure
Is
if we
there-
take it slow, we should be pretty okay.
Okay, so do you step onto the steps?
Hang on
Yes.
just a second. Is there like a loose stone near me?
Yeah, there's a bunch of loose stones and gravel and dirt
I'm
around.
gonna throw a stone up to the upper ledge here. If some magical force stops the stone being thrown up to the next level.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an acrobatics check.
To throw a rock?
Yeah, right? Because you're trying to aim for the ledge up top.
Fair enough. Natural one.
Okay. You
job.
you go to throw it, and you like as you raise your hand behind you to throw it, it falls out of your hand, and you throw nothing, and it lands on the ground behind you.
Hey, Bunsen.
Yes?
Beware the rocks.
What does that even mean?
It was the warning from yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Oh right.
Anyway, can I see if anyone saw that?
We all saw
Yeah,
that.
everyone
once.
saw it. You said,
I-
"Hang
I-
on a minute, I'm going to do this," and then you did it, and they all watched.
I haven't recalibrated my throwing yet since last night.
You don't need to make an excuse. You messed up.
Anyway, I'm gonna pick the stone back up and try to throw it again.
Okay, another acrobatics check.
12.
Okay, and you throw it up there, and it hits the stone wall and then bounces off into the forest.
It doesn't reach up to the top of the ledge at all.
No. Almost, but it hits the lip and falls into the forest.
Tychus, could you throw a stone up there, see if there's another invisible wall of some sort?
I'm going to climb the stairs now.
Okay. As you step onto the first couple steps, you are surprised as they instantly turn to gravel and you slide back down. And then the gravel
Ooh.
reforms into a stair.
What happened, Noname?
Stairs turned to gravel, turned back to stairs.
Maybe the Patons can do something for once. Hang on a second.
Are you really going to try the pitons again?
On the gravel, of course.
We're all ready.
What are you doing?
I'm going to attempt to go up the stairs myself. But this, I'm going to try to use batons to stop from sliding down.
Are you using the pitons on like the wall beside you, or the steps in
On-
front of you, or like what are you doing?
On the steps.
Okay. As you step onto the steps, they immediately crumble into gravel, and like become a smooth, like basically gravel slope that you slide back down, and then you try to use the pitons to lean forward and grab further steps up, and those instantly crumble into gravel also, and you slide back down. And just as you do, what?
I don't get any grip when I insert the batons into it.
Nope.
Darn.
Nope, you slide back down, and then as you hold on, I have a message from work.
Strange pixie.
Let's actually take a quick break,
Okay.
Okay.
because I have to figure out what this is about. So like 5 minutes.
My batons have not been very helpful tonight.
It sounds like you guys are in a swamp.
It's a very dense forest. I don't think it's a swamp.
Well, actually, it's a jungle.
Forest.
Oh.
Jungle. Oh yeah, it does sound like a jungle.
Welcome to the jungle.
Sounds like I'm eating at Rainforest Cafe.
It's a jungle full of dinosaurs and questionable interpretations of ideas and things.
Oh, like from Sonic and the Secret Rings?
Oh, this is like the Lion King. I'm just kidding.
It's more like that bad Borderlands 2 DLC.
I know, I
just-
never did pull the trigger on Borderlands 3.
It's pretty good.
3 is pretty
We'll
good.
talk about Borderlands a little bit.
I was trying to play it on PC, and it was the game was showing its age, and I already beat it on the Xbox, so I was kind of like, meh.
What's this about Borderlands?
Oh, we were initially talking about like the setting, and I said that it does kind of remind me a little bit of that Borderlands 2 DLC, the one.
The bad one?
Yeah, the bad one.
What's
And,
the bad one?
It's the hunt.
The big game hunt.
Yeah.
Not only was the whole DLC a bait and switch, but you spend the entire time fighting tribal people called savages.
Mm.
Also, you didn't actually do any hunting. You're just fighting some lame scientist. Like, even like the characters are like, let's just hurry up and get this no-name idiot done with, so we can go on to the hunt.
Gotcha.
Like even the characters don't even want to be in the DLC. It's such a disappointing DLC.
Honestly, I don't remember if I played any Borderlands 2 DLC. I know I did for the first one, but I don't think I did for the second one.
The second one has a Dungeons and Dragons theme one that's like the highlight of the entire series, in my opinion.
It's fantastic.
It's really the only reason I ever go back to 2 after 3.
I tried to get Chev to play it, and he was like, I've never played a Borderlands, that looks dumb. I'm like, dude, you're gonna like
I
it.
didn't say it looked dumb.
Oh, you did say it looked dumb, maybe. I thought you did, but...
If you're gonna jump into the series, don't feel hesitant to jump straight into 3. Like, yeah, you'll miss some story stuff, but it's not a huge deal.
Nah, I agree.
I
3
bet.
is solid.
The story's not like...
The story isn't that important, is the thing.
It's not that important to the game.
It's just you'll miss like the initial connection to some characters. Like, you'll just be like,
Yeah,
you'll
but
just-
you'll pick it up, you know?
Yeah, it's
That's what I
like,
feel like.
you won't be immediately excited when you hear the name Sir Hammerlock in the second act of the game, but
I need you to know
but like
Hammerlock
all
is
the
one of
best
my favorite
characters in 3
characters.
are the new characters, like Wainwright, like fucking
Yeah.
Lorelei,
Is-
Tyrene
Like
Troy.
more and more, I'm like, you know what? Just jump into the newest game. Sometimes I feel like that. I mean,
Well, my
instead of-
issue
instead of telling
with,
someone to go back and play so much content, just play it. Play the new.
like
You have to.
I like 2, but my issue with 2 is that the first like 2 hours are awful. It's just like, yeah, you start in an nice land. Go here and kill 30 people. Okay, go to this next icy area and kill 30 people. Do this 8 more times for 2 hours. And then
Oh,
you
it's
finally get...
it's totally like World of Warcraft grindy, but
Yeah.
it's fun. 'Cause you're
I mean,
playing a
like,
shooter.
my other issue with 2 is that, like, as much as people want to bitch about 3's post-game, 2's post-game to me is way worse, just because, like, the only way you can beat the post-game of 2 is to abuse the broken mechanics of the game to its extreme. Like,
Yeah.
like without the community patch, you literally have to not finish a quest because an item that is given to you for the duration of the quest and then is taken away from you happens to be the most broken item in the entire game, and you just abuse it for the entire post game.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't.
The one I didn't like that I didn't complete was the pre-sequel, and obviously 3.
I've never
I-
gotten more than an hour into the pre-sequel. Every
I-
time I try to play the
It's not that
pre-sequel,
good, is it?
I'm like, man, this could be good, but all this dumb moon-based gimmickry is really getting in the way of the
Exactly.
game. It's like,
It
I don't care
is.
about the oxygen, I don't care about the jetpack jumping, I don't care about the butt slamming, I just want to play Borderlands for fuck's sake. And it's a shame too, because pre-sequel has some of the coolest like character like skill sets and
I
stuff.
want to have a moment to say, I would love to play it with you someday, if we can ever get the chance to do it. And I can't wait to play Lady Hammerlock because
like-
she's like
but,
the
like-
best character to play.
But like, yeah, if I could take the pre-sequel character like skill trees and characters and put them into 2, I'd have a blast. Because characters in pre-sequel have really fun trees, like Wilhelm and Timothy, like have really fun looking trees. It was cool to see Timothy again in the BL3 DLC though. Like I don't really like Gage all that much for the second DLC, but the first DLC seeing Jack's body double again was pretty funny.
I played the Telltale games Borderlands thing. That was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I like the Telltale games.
That is really good. That's a really good one.
It didn't make me like Vaughn anymore in 3, but
I had the first Borderlands game when it initially came out, and it was, for the time when it came out, it was an absolute blast.
Yeah,
What
and
point
the
in the game?
DLC was hilarious for the first game.
Yeah,
Like
the
that
DLC
rainbow,
wasn't
like
bad.
unicorn, like rainbow farting or something. I remember. I can't really remember fully, but it's something funny like that.
I was far more interested in things like the whole like military themed one where it's just like about roads and like there's a road warrior-esque motif almost to it, and it's kind of funny and goofy. That was a really fun time. But and like facing off against the general and everything, that's really cool. I love that whole thing. But then we get into Borderlands 2, and Borderlands 2 DLC is the best DLC the entire series has ever gotten, I think. Though that might be changed around when I get the DLC stuff and everything, because there's a wedding I have to get to, and I'm excited. And then it has like the worst DLC they could have added because it's uncomfortably racist. It's not even like fun tongue-in-cheek racist, really. It's just uncomfortable.
although they did have to meet their quota of uncomfortable racism in the new DLC, because you do hunt a Wendigo.
Oh, don't say that word, please.
Okay,
And
I
Jemima.
think I resolved his concerns. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure.
Okay.
Do you think it would be a bad idea to use a corner of a paper towel as a bookmark?
Why would it?
No.
That is the weirdest question I've ever heard.
I was reading something in the meantime. Yeah, that's right. I read.
What is that?
Okay.
What is what reading?
Yeah.
All right, so you slide back down with the pitons as you try to grip it, but it's of to no avail. You just tumble down like it was as if it was loose gravel, but the gravel doesn't seem to pile up or fall into the the like area where you guys are standing or anything like that, and then the gravel just immediately forms back into stone steps as you fall back down. And just as you fall back down, you notice another little sprite thing walk right by you, almost as if you just aren't even there. And it walks up to the base of the steps, and this one has a mask that resembles a chameleon's head. And it's carrying an orange and purple orchid and a red parrot feather. And it walks right by you and just races up the steps with ease. They don't turn to gravel at all. Literally light as a feather on the fragile stones.
Huh.
Well, it would seem that each staircase is protected by a different kind of flower.
Well, no, this is a feather, not a
Or
flower.
a feather, rather.
And
by
weird
a
map.
different magical totem. Where are we going to get a parrot feather?
From a parrot, presumably.
Where are we going to get a parrot?
From the trees, presumably.
I'm quickly becoming tired of this fetch.
Maybe an egg.
Okay, so
Want to
you
try
gu-
using your
I mean,
pythons on a
you
tree
guys
to
can
see
look
if you can
around
find
up
it.
here and see if there's anything before you
Yeah.
jump in the jungle.
Yeah, why don't we go ahead and investigate the surrounding area?
Okay,
Yeah, I
all of you roll
I crossed-
investigation checks.
Yeah, I crossed
Investigation?
Uh-huh.
I'm crossing my arms and I look straight up. Like,
It's
Maybe-
fat 2.
maybe if I'm lucky, there'll be a parrot directly above us. Investigation.
Okay, so you two, you guys look around and you don't find anything, and then you turn around. He's like, you walk into this corner, both of you. You're looking around, you don't see anything, and you look up into the sky to see if you see parrots. And then you turn around, and you see Nock snatch a parrot out of midair just above him and pulls 3 feathers off of it. Or her, sorry, my bad. I'm really bad about that.
Wow, one was just flying by me, huh?
Uh-huh.
I knew holding onto that 4-leaf clover was a good idea.
And then as you all look to behind Nock, you see there's a bunch of feathers just strewn about that somehow you guys didn't even notice.
Cool.
That thing had some kind of mask too.
Yeah, it had a mask of a chameleon's head.
I will,
The first one had a triceratops head that you saw.
I'm gonna pick up a feather and step towards the stairs and see what happens when I
Okay.
walk on.
Okay, and you still have your orchid too?
Yep.
Okay. All right, you walk onto the steps with ease. They do not crumble.
I would like to attempt to walk up as well, holding the feather.
Okay. You step on the steps and they crumble into gravel and you slide back down.
It seems you need incrementing totems.
It's
Noname,
okay, I
could
could
you-
lift both of them.
Noname, could you throw down your flower to me?
I haven't climbed the rest of the way up the stairs, I was just testing.
Oh, I thought you climbed all the way up.
I'm just gonna pick you up.
Okay. What about Gimbal?
I'll carry Gimple.
Okay.
I
Alright.
count as like a large creature for carrying things.
All right, so Gimbal hops up on Tychus' shoulders, and you guys proceed up the steps. You guys make your way up to the 2nd level. All right, let's open up this here. So as you get up to the 2nd level, you see that this platform looks like it's in much better condition. There's not a bunch of loose rocks and stuff around, and there's no cracks in the stone. It's pretty like almost like it's new. And the steps leading up from level 2 to level 3 are about 20 feet long, so a little shorter. They rise about 12 feet total into the air. And the stairs are also in excellent condition, but swarms of poisonous snakes slither over them.
And there it is.
I'm gonna put the feather in my hair and turn to Tychus and go, macaroni. And then go and figure out what we need.
I don't suppose we need blueberries next. Can we investigate the top of this thing?
the platform you're on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You look around the platform here, and like I said, you just see really smooth stone, almost like it was carved yesterday. Like it's all very polished, very well taken care of. And then as you're looking around, you are on the other side of this level, and you see another little sprite come just walking around, and he just acts like he doesn't even notice you. And this one has a mask on that resembles a mongoose's face. And it's carrying a red parrot feather and an orange and purple orchid. And he walks up to the bottom step, and the little sprite whacks a snake with its orchid to make it angry, and then strokes the snake's flank with the feather to calm it down, and then lies down facing the snake, whereupon the reptile crawls through the mouth of the mask and inside the sprite's body. The little sprite then slithers up the steps like a snake, untroubled by any of the other poisonous snakes.
That's a wild crazy and I'm very pleased. These sprites are genius. I love them.
Okay.
I was just as surprised as you all were. This is the first time I've read these step things.
So Nock saw all of that?
Yeah, you guys all watched as this sprite just walked up, made the snake mad, then calmed it down, and then laid down and let it crawl down its throat. And then the whole sprite itself slithered up the stairs like a snake itself.
Well, we have the flower and the feather, who,
And you have mouths. I'm not so lucky.
Gimbal?
I'm not sure I want to continue. That looks terrifying.
How tall is the wall this time?
It's 12 feet in the air. The steps, though, themselves are about 20 feet long.
I'm just gonna go for it.
Okay. So what do you do?
I bap it with the flower, and then I calm it with the feather.
Okay, hold on. You bat it with the flower, and then it gets real mad, and it goes to bite you.
And then I have to go and stroke it with the feather on its flank.
Okay, and as soon as you do, it calms down, what is happening, and then it's I kind of like this.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay down on the ground and open my mouth.
Okay, all right. You lay down on the ground, and the snake slithers up to your face, and immediately enters through the mouth. Okay, hold on. Let's make a successful
Just
DC.
to the index. If one of your party members is a dumbass enough to try
Okay,
this.
you need to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Alright.
This would be an amazing nat one.
Oh my god, hold on, let's see what happens here.
Honey, don't put that in the universe! I keep telling you!
Holy shit. Oh man. Okay.
Do I just insta-give?
Alright, yeah, you you take 3d6 psychic damage. Which would be doubled because of the fail, but I'm not gonna do that to you. Yeah, so let's see what happens here. You take 14 psychic damage.
Ow.
Okay, and then you are allowed to try again.
Ouch. Huh, don't put things like that out in the universe. It causes bad things to happen. Don't do that. This is like when you're playing Magic and you're like, oh, now you're gonna draw a land, and then they draw a land. Don't do that to people. It's rude. Okay. Okay. I hurt right now.
Now hold on, I have an idea.
If your idea involves slamming your face against the invisible wall again, that might heal me hit points and humor.
Luckily, no. That's not my idea again. So... It depends. As you all can clearly see, I have no mouth. What if the snake can be within me otherwise? I open up one of my compartments on on the top part of one of my legs.
Okay. Do you have the? Do you use the orchid and the feather?
Noname, can I see your orchid and feather again?
You already have a feather. I'm gonna give you the orchid.
Alright. I'm going to I'm gonna start that process again.
Okay. What do you do? What do you do, Knock?
Noname, what did you do again?
Bap it with the flower. It gets angry. Pat its flank with the feather, and then once it calms down, lay down on your belly. Open your mouth, or I guess your hole in this case. It sounds worse. I'm just gonna heal myself if I can.
So I'm just thinking for a second. My compartment is nowhere near my mouth. There's the compartment where I keep my rapier, I suppose.
Are you going through the steps?
I don't know if the snake would be able to fit in my rapier spot.
I don't know. You have to try.
Yeah. I'm going to take out my rapier. I'm going to hand it to Tychus. Please, hold on to this.
Will do.
Alright, and I'm going to approach the stairs. I'm going to, in the same manner that Noname did, I'm going to bat at a snake with the orchid.
Okay. It gets really mad.
And then on its flank, I'm going to rub it with the feather, like I saw.
Okay. And then it calms down. It's kind of like, oh yeah, I like this.
Alright, and then I'm going to get down, and I'm going to turn my head down so they can see the compartment where the rapier used to be.
Okay. And the snake kind of crawls all over you for a second, and then finds this aperture, and it's like it kind of looks up at the rest of you, like what? And then it tries and enters into the compartment. Roll a Constitution saving throw. Oh, I thought that was a 1. The dice showed a 1.
That would have been really funny.
Okay. You sorry. You succeed. And you now feel yourself with the power of you're able to move, and you kind of can slither as you slither along the ground, and you slither up the top of these steps. And you are, as soon as you get to the top, the snake immediately jumps out of the compartment and joins its friends.
For once, I'm actually glad I don't have a mouth.
Oh,
However, I am now rapierless.
well. Do we all have to do this then?
Seems if you want to go up the steps.
All right, I'll give it my shot then.
I'm gonna take a moment to cure wounds.
Might want to do that, yeah.
Yeah, that's 10. That's a good amount of health.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Awesome.
All right, so I'm gonna take my feather and plant.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go to the snake.
Okay, and
I'm gonna lightly bap the snake with the flower.
jumps out from the steps.
Gonna stroke it on the flank with the feather.
Ah, yeah, I like that feather.
Never again. And I'm gonna go ahead and lay down and open my old ass mouth.
All right. Then you open your snake hole, and the snake goes in. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Alright, here we go.
This module.
That's a 10.
Who wrote this? All right, you are able to slither up the steps.
All right,
Strange feeling.
toss thing down to me.
Here's your sword back. I toss them down.
Thank you.
No. You toss the feather. Like, I only really need the flower back. So, here we go again.
Alright, I now have my rapier back.
Yeah, I hand it back.
Bap the snake with the flower.
The DC is 10, by the way. You guys barely made it.
Bap the snake with the flower. Destroy
Okay.
with the feather.
This is where No Name dies,
Lay down
right?
on the floor.
Okay, and
No
then
Name
Open
does.
my mouth.
DC 10 Constitution.
All
Alright,
right, we're good.
this
We're
time
good.
you're able to make it to the
Everything's fine.
top.
We're good.
All right, and I think we're gonna call it there for tonight. My voice is getting pretty rough.
Oh my god.
I was like,
Jesus Christ.
these first two, I was like, these are easy because it's like they can just look around and find a flower, and then they can just look around and find a feather on the level. I'm like, okay. And then the last one, it's like you gotta swallow a snake.
Well, for once,
you gotta first. You have to have foreplay with the snake.
I mean, Knock had a lucky break. Didn't have a throat.
After fucking up like 11 rolls tonight, you nailed the one that mattered.
I have to say, I think it was a pretty clever call for me to try putting it in the rapier slot.
I honestly had no idea what I was going to do with you, so I was glad you thought of something that I could use. I was gonna just have it wrap around your head or some shit. This module is crack up, nanny poo poo, and
figure
deep
we're
throating
just gonna leave
snakes.
him down there.
Yeah, I think Gimbal wanted to stay, right?
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna make him go up.
Gimbal was terrified. He didn't want to go any further.
Yeah, he can set up camp and wait for us.
Okay.
Let
Let me just
get my rapier back.
sign off the stream here. Thanks everybody for watching, and tune in later this week. I think let's look real fast. Solstice, where are you? Oh, sweet. I see you signed up, Bryn, for Friday. So Friday will be our next session, as far as I'm aware. We still have Boris and Rainbow, so we might have one sooner if they sign up. We'll see. With Bryn, and then we have PJ's on Saturday and Mirama's on Sunday. The one-on-one sessions for Solstice. I got sick this weekend, so I couldn't do them. But we'll get those done. It'll be fun. If they all go as good as Deranged and Bunson's, then I'll be happy. So thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for playing, everybody. And we'll see you later.
Snakes.
Yeah, thanks for watching while we deep throat snakes from this module.